We're diving into some really interesting recent events. We've pulled insights from 4 different news sources. We'll be going from, well, a very personal emergency right up to some pretty significant border discussions.
Yeah, and what's fascinating, I think, is how these stories, which seem separate at first glance, actually connect. They sort of paint a broader picture of what's happening right now. Our aim is to connect those dots for you, give you those aha moments, a clear, neutral look at the facts without getting bogged down.
Exactly. So let's start with a story that's a real reminder of how quickly things can change, even on just a normal commute. It's about unexpected danger, but also, importantly, about community response.
Okay, so this first one involves a gentleman, Mr. Sakol Sawapakol. He's 36, from Rayong. This happened August 28th, around 11:30 in the morning. He was riding his motorcycle to work on Highway 331 in Pattaya.
Just a regular commute.
Exactly. And then suddenly, he gets stung by a bee. And it wasn't just any sting, he had a severe allergic reaction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like immediate swelling between his thumb and index finger. And critically, he started having real difficulty breathing. Serious stuff.
That sounds terrifying, especially on a motorcycle.
Absolutely. He managed to pull over safely, which was good. He sought help from people nearby, residents there. They called the Sawang Borabun Thomasathan Foundation Rescue Team.
Okay, the local rescue service.
Right. They got there quickly, gave him oxygen to help with the breathing, and then straight to Pattaya Hospital for treatment.
Thank goodness for the quick response from everyone.
Definitely. And afterwards, authorities put out a warning, just reminding motorcyclists to be careful about insects because these severe reactions can happen fast.
That's a really scary situation. But it also, it really highlights how crucial that quick action was from the residents, from the rescuers. What does an incident like this tell a city like Pattaya about its sort of broader safety net and maybe how citizens can be part of that?
Well, that's a great question. It brings up a few things, right? First, there's the human element. You mentioned people nearby being ready and willing to help. That's huge. But it also makes you think about the formal systems. How accessible are emergency services, especially on busy roads like that highway?
Yeah.
It kind of forces a city to ask, are our response times as good as they can be? And beyond that, how do we empower citizens? Is it about, say, more widespread first aid training or maybe clearer public info campaigns? This incident really shows the value of having both aware citizens and efficient official responders.
Right, a combination of both. Okay, let's shift gears now. From that moment of crisis, we're moving to something quite different, creativity and maybe commerce, Pattaya's ambitions in the world of film.
Yeah, a totally different vibe. We're talking about the 3rd annual Pattaya Film Festival 2025. It just opened on August 28th, running through to the 30th. And this isn't just about showing movies. It's positioned as, well, a cultural celebration, but also a real push for tourism and the local economy.
Organized by the city itself.
Yes, Pattaya City is behind it. They have some pretty clear goals. First, they're aiming to get Pattaya recognized as a UNESCO Creative City for film. That's a big one.
Okay.
Then stimulating the local economy, obviously, and promoting what they call Thailand's soft power, using culture, like film, to build influence and appeal internationally.
So where is this happening? Is it just in cinemas?
It's spread out, actually. Screenings are free, which is great. They're happening at SSF Cinema Central Pattaya and Central Marina, but also, interestingly, in 4 open-air locations. Places like Nakulia's Bodhi Court, some temples, even Pattaya Central Beach.
Open air, nice. What kind of films are they showing?
A real mix. 16 international and Thai films in total. There's the Thai premiere of Dream, international stuff like 20,000 Species of Bees, Influencer, Alien, Earth, Kiss the Con Queen, Deeper, Renoir, and Thai films too, like Viman Nam, Youth 2544, Mr. Hurt.
Quite diverse.
Yeah, and the open-air ones seem geared for, broader tastes. Action with Tony Jaa, horror like Last Night, animation Conclue, comedies AI exclusive, Gangwon Pun and Yaowarat, plus they've got local food stalls, community product booths, really trying to involve local businesses.
So it's feeding back into the local economy directly.
Exactly. The mayor, Pormizing Gampichet, sounded pretty confident about it elevating Thai cinema and the city's profile.
It sounds ambitious, definitely. That UNESCO goal is significant. But, how does a film festival, even a well-run one with free screenings, actually translate into something like that? Or make a real dent in the economy beyond just the festival days?
That's the key question, isn't it? Moving from just having the event to achieving those bigger strategic goals. And what's really interesting here is that this isn't just a film festival. It seems like a very deliberate move by Pattaya to kind of reshape its image on the world stage.
Moving beyond just beaches, maybe.
Precisely. For a city known mainly for tourism, Using cinema is a smart way to diversify its appeal. It's not just about the ticket sales or lack thereof with free screenings during these few days. It's about potentially attracting film productions long-term, nurturing local talent, building a whole creative ecosystem around film.
Ah, I see. Longer term.
Yeah, drawing a different kind of visitor, perhaps one more interested in arts and culture. That generates economic activity throughout the year. You look at places like Cannes, obviously, but even smaller hubs. They show that consistent investment in film festivals and creative industries can really build cultural capital and diversify the economy. It creates a richer story for the city.
Right, a more multi-layered identity. Okay, building on that theme of sort of city development and long-term planning, let's move to essential services. Our next piece is about how Pattaya is looking to improve its healthcare infrastructure.
Yes, focusing on community health needs. City officials are planning to transform the Jomtien Municipal Office,
The existing office.
the existing one, yeah, into a new Pattaya Community Medical Center. It'll be known as Wat Bunya Kanjanaram. This is being driven by the deputy mayors, the city council president, permanent secretary, other officials. They've all been out surveying the site.
And why the move? What's wrong with the current setup?
Well, the main issue seems to be severe overcrowding at the existing medical center. It's particularly tough for patients with chronic conditions, apparently, and there are also safety concerns, especially when the weather's bad.
Okay, so practical problems. What's the plan for the new center?
It's designed to be, a fully equipped modern facility. They're talking an emergency room, meeting rooms, proper staff offices, temperature-controlled storage for medicines, which is important, and a big focus on safer, more comfortable waiting areas for patients.
And they chose the Jomtien office site specifically.
Yes, they considered another location, something about a wastewater treatment plant site, but decided the municipal office was more suitable.
Makes sense.
The early designs suggest a 3- or 4-story building. It'll have comprehensive facilities, parking, specifically aimed at serving residents in Jomtien and South Pattaya.
And when might this happen?
Construction is expected to begin soon, according to the report. The city administration is really emphasizing this as a commitment to better public health care, more accessible, more efficient, higher quality.
That sounds like a really positive development, especially for people in those areas. It tackles those concrete issues like overcrowding. What is that decision, to repurpose an existing building instead of starting from scratch? Tell us about how Pattaya is approaching its urban planning, maybe its resource management.
That's a really sharp point. Repurposing the municipal office. It strongly suggests a focus on, efficiency. Efficient resource allocation. Instead of the often long and costly process of finding new land and building totally new, they're adapting what they already have.
Which should be faster, presumably.
Exactly. It likely speeds up the project, and it shows a pragmatic way to meet growing community needs by maximizing the assets they've got. It kind of signals a more strategic, maybe more sustainable approach to urban development, trying to keep public services in step with population needs.
It really shows how cities have to constantly adapt their core services. And speaking of core things, fundamental things, let's shift our view now. We're going from internal city infrastructure to something bigger. National security, borders, international relations. This next story is pretty complex.
Yeah, this involves a proposal from the Royal Thai Armed Forces, the RTAF. They're proposing building a border wall.
A wall. Along which border?
Along sections of the Thai-Cambodian border. The stated aim is primarily to boost national security and deal with cross-border issues, specifically things like human trafficking and those scam centers we hear about.
Okay. What does the proposal actually involve? Is it the whole border?
No, not the whole border. The initial plan focuses on a 10-kilometer stretch for a permanent fence. This would be in Sa Kaeo province, between boundary markers 50 and 51. Importantly, this is described as a non-disputed area near Aranyur Prathet in Thailand and Poi Phet in Cambodia.
Okay, so a specific section first. What about areas where the border is disputed?
Right. For those zones, the plan suggests temporary barriers. They're talking triple-layer barbed wire, a dedicated patrol road alongside it, and CCTV surveillance. More about monitoring and deterrence there, it seems.
And where does this proposal stand now?
It's waiting for approval from Thailand's National Security Council, the NSC. The report mentioned no current budgetary hurdles, interestingly,
Right.
and they do plan to consult with local communities who'd be affected.
Now, you mentioned disputes. There's quite a history there, isn't there?
There is, yeah, a long and often tense history. It goes back to colonial-era maps and disputes over ancient temples like Kriya Viher and Prasat Tamwin Tam. This has led to clashes over the years, notably between 2008 and 2011. But things have flared up again significantly this year, in 2025.
What happened this year?
Well, back in May, there was a skirmish near the Emerald Triangle area that resulted in the death of a Cambodian soldier. That really escalated things. Troop reinforcements on both sides, diplomats expelled, even economic retaliation from Cambodia.
Wow, serious escalation.
Very. It led to 5 days of heavy fighting in July. Tragically, over 30 people were reported killed, and estimates suggest over 300,000 people were displaced.
Goodness, how did that end?
A ceasefire was eventually mediated, with help from the U.S. and Malaysia, on July 28th. But even since then, things remain volatile. There have been ongoing issues with barbed wire placement in Sakeo in August, and arrests for illegal crossings are common.
So the tension is still very much there.
Yes, and on top of that historical tension, there's this other major factor driving the wall proposal,
Yeah.
the rise of these huge scam centers.
Right, you mentioned those. Where do they fit in?
They're often run, reportedly, by Chinese criminal syndicates operating in Cambodian border towns like Poi Phet and Sihanoukville. And they're generating enormous amounts of money through fraud. The article cited estimates of over $12 billion annually just in Cambodia.
12 billion, that's staggering.
It is. So given this mix, the ongoing tensions, the historical disputes, and these massive criminal operations, the feeling is that this border wall proposal is quite likely to move forward.
This is obviously incredibly complex. You've got deep history, current security fears, international crime syndicates all feeding into this one proposal for a physical barrier. It makes you wonder, though, how effective can a physical wall really be against such a wide range of problems? You know, from old land disputes to very modern, often digital scam operations.
That's the critical question, really. And what this situation highlights is that these kinds of security measures, like a wall, are almost never just about the physical structure. They're a response to this whole mix, like you said, history, sovereignty concerns, evolving criminal threats. A wall might deter certain types of illegal crossings, yes. It creates a clearer line on the ground.
Right.
But its effectiveness against highly organized traffickers, or especially those digital scam operations, that's much less certain. Those things adapt very quickly. And then there's the diplomatic angle. Building a wall, even for security reasons, inevitably sends signals and affects relationships with your neighbors.
A delicate balance.
Exactly. It shows the tightrope nations walk in border management trying to meet immediate security needs while considering long-term stability and the fact that threats themselves change constantly.
Wow. Okay, so we've gone from a bee-sting emergency on a highway to a film festival aiming for global recognition, then a community upgrading its local medical center, and finally, this major proposal for a border wall rooted in history and modern crime. It's quite a spectrum we've covered today. Really shows all the different layers of life and governance, even just focusing on one region.
It really does. And if you sort of zoom out, what connects these, I think, is how everything from an individual's unexpected health crisis to cultural ambitions to basic services right up to national security, it's all interconnected. It's all part of this complex fabric. Understanding these different threads, even if they seem unrelated at first, helps you appreciate that complexity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it shows how local stories can echo much bigger themes.
Right. Themes of governance, societal challenges, development patterns.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening? Well, maybe it's just a nudge to notice the small, unexpected things on your own commute. Or perhaps to look into cultural events happening in your area, see what ambitions they might represent. Or even just to think a bit more critically about the complex factors behind big national policies. Things like border security that might seem distant but have deep roots and wide impacts. Consider how these stories, though specific, touch on universal themes: progress, safety, community, security. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you feel a bit more informed, maybe a bit more curious. Until next time, keep digging for knowledge.